Hey everybody, it's me Peter, and today we're going to be talking about Hacksaw Ridge.
Private Doss, you are free to run into the hellfire of battle without a single weapon to protect yourself.
First, I want to say that I am really glad that Mel Gibson is back in the circuit. Whoever he may or may not be behind closed doors, he is good at his job. He's a very talented director, and as an actor, he's extremely enjoyable to watch. So I'm glad that Mel Gibson got nominated for Best Director for this film. It was a phenomenal film. And Andrew Garfield, to be honest, in the past, I never really thought much of Andrew Garfield. I saw him in The Social Network, and he was good, but it wasn't really a standout performance for me. And as an avid Spider-Man fan, I was never really that big of a fan of Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I liked Tobey Maguire, and I liked this new kid Tom Holland, but for me, Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man never really fit. But this year, I saw him in two movies, Silence, which is up for Best Cinematography, and Hacksaw Ridge. He gives two stellar performances. He's so good in these movies, and it's actually making me look at Andrew Garfield a little bit differently now. He turned in two great performances for these movies, and now I feel like I'm going to be keeping an eye out for the next Andrew Garfield film because I want to see what his next performance looks like. He's not the only one who gave a great performance in this movie. Hugo Weaving also did turn in a really great performance. I don't know if I would replace any of the nominees for Hugo Weaving. I don't think that his character is quite as complex as some of the nominated actors, but he did do a really great performance, and it is noteworthy. Now, Vince Vaughn. A number of comedic actors have done a really smooth transition from a comedic role to a dramatic role. Adam Sandler in Punch Drunk Love, Will Ferrell in Stranger Than Fiction, Jim Carrey in The Truman Show or The Majestic, Steve Carell in Foxcatcher, or Robin Williams in, well, name it, just to name a few. But Vince Vaughn, I don't think made as smooth of a transition. He seemed to be a little bit out of his element in this wartime drama. I think that he could get there. I think he could give a really great performance. I just think that he has a little bit of work to do. He still felt a little bit awkward. But I'm looking forward to seeing what else he can do. You know, as he's expanding, I want to see what other genres he's good in. Now, regarding the film itself, when the film first started, it felt a little bit corny to me, and I think it was just because they overused slow motion just a little bit. But once the main plot actually started and he goes through his training and then ultimately to the battle at Hacksaw Ridge, the movie really starts to pick up and turns into something great. The battle sequences in this film are incredibly intense. It keeps you on edge the entire time. It is extremely well made, and ultimately as a war movie, it ranks very high in my book. Now I'd like to get right into the spoiler review, so if you haven't seen Hacksaw Ridge, I suggest checking it out before finishing this review. There's not too much that I want to add about the movie. The movie's very intense. There are incredible battle sequences in this film. There is a segment where Andrew Garfield is traveling through the tunnels, and as a conscientious objector, he doesn't have a weapon on him. So he keeps narrowly escaping these encounters with a lot of Japanese troops. It was so intense, it gave me chills. He actually comes across a Japanese fighter who's injured and then offers to patch him up. And that's something that I really liked about his character, Desmond Doss, is that his wanting to be nonviolent actually came from a place of violence. You see through flashbacks that he like bashes his brother in the face with a brick and like he almost shoots his dad in the face. He's choosing not to have a weapon, not because he's a non-violent person, but because he's a violent person. He doesn't want a weapon because he has violent urges. He's trying not to be the person that he was. And I liked that a lot better. It says a lot about the man's willpower. Not to mention the fact that he saved somewhere around like 75 people, I think. And he saved some Japanese fighters as well. He patched them up and sent them down to get medical treatment. Toward the end of the film, they're a little bit ambiguous as to whether or not he's going to survive, just the way that they shoot it. And then it cuts to some footage of the actual Desmond Doss as an old man speaking about his experiences in the war. I actually really liked that method of showing us that he did make it home, that he was still alive, rather than cutting to like Andrew Garfield skipping down the road with his wife, you know. I like that they cut to the actual Desmond Doss as an old man. Like that, to me, was extremely satisfying. The film was very uplifting. In a wartime drama, a lot of people die, so I wouldn't say that it's quite as uplifting as Hidden Figures was, but It was very inspirational. But what did you think of Hacksaw Ridge? Just let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed my review, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check out some of my other videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.